her school. Yeah. Okay, but before that, it would be better if we listen forward from our head of Mathematics Aviation Study Program for Mr. Rendani. Please.
To make this idea come true, we need to prepare all of you to understand what international will do. And that's why we invite Medina to come here to tell us about her experiences where she teach in Kesatuan Bangsa school. And you can answer where or what is Kesatuan Bangsa school. They're in Central Java, DDE, or could be in Singapore. You can answer. Okay, enjoy this session, and I hope you can happy to join this session and learn many things from this week. Thank you and have a nice day.
About curriculum first, and then her experiences in teaching mathematics using Cambridge curriculum. And please give her a round of applause for me.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Maria, Mr. Denny, Mr. for me to be here. And I want to say thank you very much also for all of you guys. Welcome, and I want to say hey to everyone here. Good morning. Alright, so I know that maybe you have a lot of things that maybe you could do in this moment, right? Like for example, maybe you are having a chat with your friends, or maybe you are having fun with your friends, isn't it? Or maybe having breakfast, because I know that some of you haven't breakfast yet, right? Oh my god, I'm so sorry for that one. But, or maybe Netflix, watching Netflix, isn't it? Did you see that there's some service in the Netflix and they were really good? Okay, so I think that you don't want to miss that one things, right? Okay, but that's why I really appreciate you guys, because even though there are those kind of things, but you still come here, you choose to sitting here and then having discussion with me and also with Ms. Maria and also with Mr. Benny about what is the Cambridge school and then how we teach mathematics using the Cambridge as the curriculum. But before that, because I saw that some of you don't know about me or Kesatuan Bangsa school, so maybe if I introduce myself first. Alright, so this is the pictures that I usually show to my students about me. These pictures just a lot of things that is related Actually, someone, I know it from that. But please say it. You say something. Come on.
You like mathematics?
Yes, of course, that's right. You too, right? Hopefully. It's okay. Mathematics teacher. Yeah, but actually there is a story behind all these things. Anyone? Yay! Is there anyone army in here? Alright, okay. Okay, and then anyone? Yes, I love listening to music. And then yes, here is Yogyakarta. I was in Jogja since 2011. I studied here in University of Yogyakarta, and then yeah, until now, I think that my heart is in Jogja. But this Jogja must be something that's related to the romantic things, right? That's why it's really romantic. Even I met my husband is also in Japan. Okay, next. Anyone know about this before? These things. Maybe it's not that big, but this is Diponegoro figure with his horse. And actually, this is not that far from here. Not in Sabana, but really so.
So that's Diponegoro University.
No. It was the city when I was born. Just an hour here from Jogja. An hour and a half. I live in Bantul, Pak. Jogja coy. But this thing is not in Bantul. This one is not in Bantul. Anyone know? Okay. This is a very small city, but it's really, really famous with its building, because the building was in the group of 7 wonders of the world. That's correct. Yes, Magelang. I have chocolate so that I can give it to you. But yes, that's correct. It's Magelang. Inu plus, what's your name? Nima. Nima. All right. Yes, that's correct. That's Magelang. There's the city where I was born. Okay, and then what else? Yes. Yes, I love watching movies. That's why I mentioned Netflix before. What is anyone here watching Netflix or maybe K-drama series? Okay, what is your last Under the Rain's Umbrella? What's that? Yes, I watched it. Now it's in the episode 8. Yes. I love Oh Young. Actually, I really want her to be with the second lead. I feel I'm sorry about her. This is really about us.
Last year we invite Korean actor.
Oh, really? Alright, okay, so yeah, and then in the end, we are going to, if we have, when life gives you tangerine, right?
Yes.
In the end, I'm going to give you when maths give you tangerines. In the end of the vision, alright? Okay, so, alright, so yeah, and then after that I love watching movies, and then I love Chinese food, and then this is the place when I'm so thankful to the gods that this place really teach me a lot about teaching and learning, and maybe I will show you a little bit about the school. But before that, any one of you know about COC? Yes, okay, yes. Do you know that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know who is he? What is the episode of the university students? I forget about it. The one, but the one that is with the university, like for example, maybe you can. So yeah, some students there is also from SMP and SMA Kesatuan Bangsa. And then yeah, if you want to find a lot of things about Kesatuan Bangsa, actually it's really easy. You just can Google it, and it is in Sedayu, Bantul, Yogyakarta. Yeah, and then it was very very far away from the city, and it is a boarding school, and it is also international school. But yeah, we are under S.Pd, what we call S.Pd from Sekolah Kesatuan Pendidikan bersama. So it means that the school has what is it like agreement with other school in other country, and also we also have using international curriculum, which is Cambridge. So the curriculum, the Cambridge curriculum that we are adapt in the school is for science, mathematics, and then after that global perspective, and then English itself. So, but we are still using national curriculum, like for example for civics, and then after that Bahasa Indonesia, PKN, and then Bahasa Jawa is also. Yeah, but the other things, yeah, we are half of it we are using that Cambridge curriculum. Okay. So I think, yeah, that's all about the introduction. So we are going to go to the main course about the Cambridge curriculum and what and why. And then, yeah, actually there are several things that I want to share with you guys. And hopefully it is not just about, yeah, I don't really hope that it's not looks like a lecturing, but more than like a discussion, okay? So if you think that there's something interesting, or if you think that there's something that you wanted to know, just raise your hand and then ask me, okay? Or if there's something that we need to discuss, we can discuss together, okay? So there are some agenda, like for example, why must be Cambridge curriculum, and then what is Cambridge pathway, how is the curriculum framework, and then how about the teaching and learning process, and then the planning the lesson, and then how about the learning environment, and then what kind of the monitoring and also the evaluation in school. Okay, so now let's start with this one. Maybe do you know why our school is using Cambridge curriculum? Just guess it. 2 weeks later. Alright. So anyone know about it? Or maybe because it is international, it has to use Cambridge. But actually, in the international curriculum, we have several things. Like for example, we also have IB curriculum, which is for the IB, the International Baccalaureate. We are going to launch this curriculum maybe in the next 2 years. Now, Kesatuan Bangsa is also preparing for it. And then, so we are going to have like 3 curriculum in one school. So, yeah, quite challenging. Okay, so, yeah, it is because of, 10,000 schools in over 160 countries use it. And then, in Indonesia, there are 100 plus schools in Indonesia that use it. And mostly they are S.Pd. School, and in Yogyakarta there are 7. Okay, and yeah, the things that if you wanted to know which school that is using the Cambridge curriculum is look at the logo of the school. If the logo of the school, there is a Cambridge University assessment and evaluation there, so it means that they are Cambridge school. Because there are some schools that they are just using the book, but they are not Cambridge school. If you are coming to the Cambridge school, so it means that the school is already assessed by the Cambridge school, and then the teachers is also already certified as the Cambridge teacher. Okay. And then the next one is, learning. So, not like for example, if we use the Cambridge book, it doesn't mean that all the currencies that used there is used euro, for example. So, but we are still using the rupiah like that. So it's still close to the student standards like that. And then the next one, accepted and recognized around the world. And there are some certificates that if you study in Cambridge school, it is already accepted in some of the university, and it is like almost 25% of university in the world they accept it. Like for example, they accept AS and A level certificate, and then after that they also accept the IGCSE or the O level certificate. And then for the SMP and also elementary school, they also accept the checkpoint certificate. So this is the certificate that, like for example, like ijazah. But if in ijazah there is a statement that you are graduate, right? Now, in Cambridge certificate, there's no graduation statement like that. So it is just like the score that you've got from the test in that session, like that. So, and it also depends on the major that you are going to take in the university. If you want to take medicine, for example, so you don't need to take mathematics advanced in the A level, but you should take the biology or chemistry in the A level. So the mathematics that they have to use is just mathematics in the IGCSE, for example. So they don't need to learn about the calculus. They don't need to learn about something that is related to the engineering because they are focusing on the medicine, something like that. So, and in the Kesatuan Bangsa school, we also prepare the students to take the path like that because somehow it was really beneficial for them, and they don't take too much time to learn. And usually, the students will take the AS or A level in the grade 12, like that. And then the next is, the next one is because the Cambridge curriculum can be combined with the national curriculum. Like for example, we have the S.Pd in Jogja, and then what I see is S.Pd and also the checkpoint in the Cambridge is the gap is quite big. So I mean like the level of the questions is quite big. Because the checkpoint, the students must finish it in grade 8, and then after that, the IGCSE level, the students will take it in the grade 9, and it is just a half of it. And then, but the S.Pd actually, it is like almost 3/4 of the IGCSE things. So, what I realized is, we have to do something like many things that should we do some adaptation in our class to catch up the S.Pd, to support the S.Pd students, because not all the students in Kesatuan Bangsa is also take S.Pd test. Then, for example, just this year, only 2 students that is take the S.Pd like that. It just in one class, so there's just only 2 students that took the test. Because after that, most of the students will continue their study in SMA in Kesatuan Bangsa too. So it means that they will not pay attention to the S.Pd, but they have to finish the IGCSE curriculum. So they will take the IGCSE test or the O-level test. Maybe if you know O-level in the Harry Potter maybe, right? O-level test or in the Singapore, something like that. But we did it in the grade 10. Like that. But if there's a new students that is come to the Kesatuan Bangsa school and there's no background for Cambridge curriculum, so they have to take the IGCSE in the grade 11. But still, they still have to take the test because it is just like an exit point in the Kesatuan Bangsa, like that. Whatever the grade that they get, so So this is just the exit point. And then the next is the full support and easy access. What does it mean with the full support and easy access in here? So Cambridge gives teacher place to what we call it as school support hub, where in this website we can get anything as a teacher that we want. Like for example, from the syllabus, from the lesson planning, from the any kind of idea or activity that we can apply inside of the classroom, they can give it to the teacher. But this is only accessed by the teacher. And then the other things, like for example, the enrichment here. Oh, sorry. Sorry, maybe I will open this manually. Oh, I forgot to put the link. Okay, this is the Enrich website. Actually, everyone can access this one, but some of it may be not free, just for the Cambridge teacher only. It is like, there are many things that you can find, even maybe kalau teman-teman mau cari bahan buat skripsi, bisa nanti dapat dari sini. And there are many things that you can get from here, like for example, starting from the elementary until the high school. Sometimes, as a teacher, it is really overwhelming for us to find what kind of the context that we want to when we want to teach the students, isn't it? Sometimes it is hard for us to find the context in when we have to teach logarithmic, for example. So sometimes students will ask the teacher, why do you have to learn these things, right? So what kind of the context that we can give to the students? And sometimes this the language website, and then after that the teacher guides that was given from the Cambridge, it's really help us to explore all those kind of things. Yes? Yeah? Yes, certified, yes. Yes.
So how do the teacher can get it? First of all, in Indonesia, if the teacher will become a professional teacher, they must join in the PPT, right? And then if they pass from the program, so they will get the certificate, right? So how the certificate for the
Correct. Okay, so far, what I get is the teachers is enrolled by the schools because actually it's quite expensive. It's like about 7.5 million. But actually, if you want to take it by yourself, you can take it by your own. And then there are so many there are so many parts of training that you can take from there. Like for example, you can find the offline one. But for the basic things, usually it's going to be better if you take the offline, and that's why sometimes like the school will ask the teacher to go to the UK, or the trainers come to the schools and then give the training to the other teachers, and that's what the Sabana did. So what I had an experience is the school enrolled us to them. And then after that, we have to take all the training.
So actually,
Yes.
is there any foundation or department of government in Indonesia that we offer this certified program, grant certified program?
No, it is not owned by the Cambridge itself. But Cambridge has an office in Indonesia, and then after that, I think if what is it? Yeah, maybe the outlines of the class or the outlines of the lesson is really clear and detailed. Like for example, in here we can see we know the outline of the topic and then the key vocabulary and then the key phrase. The key phrase in here is really important because it will help the students when they have to make a sentence in the learning process. The things that is really different with us in Indonesia when we have ujian nasional or maybe AN, all those questions is multiple choices, right? In Cambridge, all the questions will be in essay. And then there are two types of papers, paper 1 and also paper 2, all of them is in essay. So that's why we have, as a teacher, even though I am a mathematics teacher, I have to make sure that my students is also write the sentence correctly in grammar, like that. Because the key phrase is really important. The next one is also, this is the other things. Even the possible misconception is also written there. So we are, as a teacher, we can we have, what is it? We will be more aware with this kind of misconception. Okay. Alright, and then, so maybe suggested teaching activities and resources. So this is what I said, how detailed the syllabus and also the resource that the Cambridge gives to the teacher. Even some things that is really important have to, it is written there, and then the guided questions is also written there. So it really helps the teacher to help the students. And then the next is the Cambridge pathway. And this is the Cambridge pathway where the students can use the curriculum. Sometimes it happens. Alright. So here in Kesatuan Bangsa School, this one is for SMP, grade 7 and grade 8. And then after that, this one, upper secondary, IGCSE grade 9, grade 10. And then after that, the A level here, it is for grade 11 and grade 12. Actually, when we heard about the Kurikulum Merdeka, we think like this really looks like a Cambridge curriculum, because when in the grade 11, they already find what subject that they wanted to take, right? And then after that, and it is already aligned to the university, isn't it? Like for example, if you want to take engineering, and then the university will look at the score and the report based on biology and then other the subject, like just Cambridge, just like that, just the same. Okay, so even in Sabana Bangsa, now we are also open the class for economics because students who wants to take economic and business now is getting have a bigger seat. So we give it to the students. But now there is an issue that there will be a changing again. So we don't know about that. So that's why sometimes we push the students to take the IGCSE and also to AS or A level because those kind of conditions. Next one. Okay, this is the curriculum framework for the mathematics. Actually, this is almost the same in Indonesia. Okay, number, algebra, geometry, measure, statistical probability. But in here, we call it as the thinking and working mathematically. This is a really Cambridge thing. Now, okay, I just want to give you something that is a little bit different because in the AS and also A levels, it's almost the same with what we have in Indonesia. Just the system of the curriculum is modular. Modular means that we teach the student one chapter starting until finish. Like for example, like that. We have like that in Indonesia, isn't it? Like for example, when the teacher about algebra, about integral, so it's just integral. But in checkpoint and also the IGCSE, it is a little bit different. Maybe this is the name of the chapters actually, but maybe can you look at what is the difference among them? Alright. Could you find something different? From one checkpoint to the checkpoint 8, checkpoint 7 to the checkpoint 8 to the checkpoint 9. Did you find something different there? Yes? Please, I forgot to bring the chocolate. This time I should bring the chocolate so that everyone wants to answer it. Alright. Yes? Just slightly different, isn't it? Okay? Just slightly different. So when it's just a slightly different, so what's the difference between the checkpoint 7, 8, and 9? So what happened with the students? Terus muridnya belajar apa? Kalau ternyata materinya semuanya sama, isn't it? Okay, so this is something that is really different, and I feel this is something good in Cambridge. This is what we call it as progression learning. The progression learning in here, it means that in the checkpoint 7 they will have angles, and the checkpoint 8 they also will have angles. Checkpoint 9 they also have angles, for example. But they are gradually the difficulty will gradually getting higher and higher. Even the students, when they have a checkpoint test, they just have checkpoint test on April, and it's like they didn't feel like, okay, I have a really big test on that time, because they feel like this is something that they already learned before. So when they have a test in the checkpoint, or maybe when they have a test in the progression test, they know, oh, okay, there's something that I have already learned about this. This is just only adding by something like this. So there's something that I feel in the Cambridge curriculum, the students feel, they don't feel that mathematics is something that is really big, or mathematics is something that's really hard to learn, something like that. Okay, because what happened in the progression learning in here, they are using the spiral approach. The spiral approach is very exciting and engaging with topic and skills at deeper levels and in different contexts across the stage. Okay, so we are going to see here. Now, the difference between them. Okay, in the stage 7, the learning objective, it is about understand the situation can be represented either in word or as an algebraic expression and move between the two representations, linear with integer coefficient. So in the stage 7, the students just learn about the linear expression and integer coefficient. Only that. And then after that, in the next stage, which is going to be in the second semester, they will learn about the same thing, but there will be fractional coefficient there. Okay? And then after that, in the grade 8, there will be squares, cubes, and roots. So maybe when we look at the chapter, it seems like there are so many things that they have to learn, right? But actually, when we teach to the students, even those topics can be done even in 40 minutes or one session only. Because actually, what we have to do is they already know what they already know, and then after that, we just give them, okay, the difference between what we have learned is you already learned about the integer, now we are talking about the fraction. So they will have they already what we call it as, I forgot what students is not blank at all when they are learning something. But there is something that they have in their mind, and then after that they try to connect it with one and another. Okay, so it's really fast. Okay, and then the next one is about how Cambridge, Matematika in Cambridge, is they're really emphasizing in how the capability of the students to read the data and also using the statistics, because it is like they do it again and again, starting from the elementary until they are in the A level, because reading the data and then after that finding the data, it is like the basic things that you have to do in any kind of fields. So that's why statistics is something that's really important, and they have to do it. What does it mean that they have to do it? They have to try finding for example, they have to try finding the problem. They have to try making the hypothesis, and then after that they have to find they have to design the population, finding the sample. They have to try, but it is from stage by stage, like that. So maybe later on I will show you the difference between what they have learned about the data from grade 7 until grade 9. There's a really big difference. Like for example, from grade 7, they know how to read the data, and then after that from grade 8 they are starting to find the data, talking by somebody like, okay, what is your shoes size? And then after that, they didn't find it randomly because they don't know how to find the sample randomly. And after that, in the grade 9, they already know, okay, so I think I have to find the sample randomly to avoid bias, something like that. That is really different from grade 7 and grade 9. Okay. So the idea that I really get from the Cambridge curriculum is how this curriculum and how the support that is given to the teacher is not about looking at the students doing the mathematics and doing the calculation and after that they get 100. No. It is about the process itself. So that's why the distinctive features of Cambridge in mathematical learning is we never start the students to learn starting from the formula. We always teach them starting from the concept. Like for example in here, even just as simple as triangle, how to find the area of a triangle. So what we can do to find the area of a triangle, basically. Okay, like for example, any one of you have an experience that your students getting confused between which one is the perimeter and which one is the area. Mana yang keliling, mana yang luas? Ya kan? Okay. So what we can do? Mostly when I ask to the students, guys, what is perimeter? Perimeter of what, miss? Perimeter of square. And then what is happening is they mention the formula. But the other students that don't know the formula, they just because they don't know the formula, right? Okay. But after that, there's a really in some cases, some students they don't know what is the area and then what is the perimeter. So what we're going to do to introduce this concept to the students. Yes, that's right. which one that is will be more will bring the students' memory? Which one is it? Using this context, or the teacher just give you the formalized side? Which one that will be easier to the students to understand? Using this one, right? That's correct. Even I asked the students, not me actually, but another student. Okay, so what's the difference between perimeter and also the area? And then the other students say, just now run, go around the basketball field. That is perimeter. That's what the other student say to to his friend. So his friend will say, "All right, I know it." So it is not because of the formula that makes the mathematics easier, but yeah, actually the formula gives mathematics easier to solve. But sometimes when the teacher just gives them the formula, they don't know what they have to do with the formula. Okay, that's the problem. Okay, so that's why in Cambridge we never start using the formula, but start with the concept. Okay, the next one is the Cambridge curriculum always emphasize the teacher and also push the teacher, not only the Cambridge, but the headmaster, the academic director, always push the teacher to use the inquiry-based learning, or maybe the solving problem, project-based problem, or anything that is related to this one. Okay, so because it is something that is really common in my school, where you are teaching in the class and then after that your headmaster just come to the class, or maybe you are just teaching to the class and then after that your class is open to other teacher. Where other teacher can learn something from your class. So yeah, these things will always motivate the teacher, that teacher inside of the classroom, especially in the Cambridge curriculum, is just a facilitator. When we are as a teacher, we help them to find out what they are going to learn, like that. Okay, so that's why what I feel when I was in the second years there, I always feel guilty, angry when my students cannot get the standard. And then after that, when when I get the training from the Cambridge, it's like slightly changed. It's like the idea is like, the first, if your students doesn't like math, so it means that your job to make the students like math. If you don't know how to make the students get higher score, so it means that maybe your students doesn't like math. So your job is first make the students like math. Okay, so that is the hardest job actually. That is the hardest job. Okay, so that's what we are doing in the class is we do all the things. So maybe when you pay attention in my introduction, I give the army things, because actually at that time I don't like BTS, but my students like it. So what I did is, okay guys, I like BTS now, so now it's like me, right? Something like that. Okay, so there are many things that the teachers can do to grab the attention from the students. Next. Now, so this is also something that's just really Cambridge, which is thinking and working mathematically. So it's like the way of the Cambridge curriculum works for mathematics. So this is what we call it as TWM, and maybe it is something like in kurikulum di Indonesia seperti apa yang harus ada di situ untuk di kelas matematika. Ada nggak? Something that must be there, like for example, numerasi, and then after that, critical thinking, terus apa lagi itu kan? There's those kind of things must be put into your lesson plan, and your lesson must be must have those kind of things, right? Now, in the Okay, from the specializing, generalizing, conjecturing, informing, the questions, and then convincing here. So, and then after that, characterizing, classifying, and then so basically in the class, it is something that is really common when one student with another student, they are debating or something. Like for example, they are debating from this is the way I am, this is the way that I did, and it is correct. But but their friend is also doing the same thing, but in another way, but they have the same correct answer. So usually they are just debating which one that is correct. So in that time, the teachers will come, and then after that, we are going to sit together. Which one that is correct, or can both of the words is correct, something like that. So the teachers there is not saying, okay, you are correct, you are not correct, but we are as a class, we look at them together, and after that we decided together this is correct. If the answer is not like the expected as the teacher, so at that time maybe we are as a teacher, we can just give them like maybe a hint, or maybe we just give them a clue, or we just give them guided questions, so that the answer will be exactly the same as the expected. Okay? Alright. So critiquing something is really important also. Even just talking about the lines, like for example, Ben could use a drawing tool on the computer, something like that. It's okay, because their job at this stage is critiquing. Give a critic. Alright, and then the other things is, use multiple representation. Okay, let's talk about this one. Usually, we have a visual, we have symbols, and manipulative things that is related to the mathematics, verbal explanation, and also the graph. Anyone, maybe when you are first, okay, I want you to reflect. When you get this kind of quadratic function, and then after that, you have to find the value of the x. What is inside of your mind? What is inside of your mind? Okay, and then? And then? Okay, that is because we have already learned about math, right? But don't think about the students that they doesn't know at all about it. They know about the factors, okay? But why we have to find the factors? Isn't it? Right. Apakah tiba-tiba dia ada di sana? Kenapa matematika suka tiba-tiba, miss? Kan gitu. Yeah, right. So why we have to do that? Why we have to find the x? But x is there. This x is there. Isn't it? Alright. So why? So what we can do to help them understand that this is quadratic function. When we talk about the quadratic function, what we are talking about actually? We are also talking about the graph, right? And after that, when we are talking about the graph, and then we know that those two factors is 2 points that intersect the axis, isn't it? Right. So that the students will understand, oh, okay, this is the graph, so that's why I have to find these things. And then after that, oh, okay, that's why I have to find the minimum point, I have to find the maximum point, something like that, isn't it? Okay. So mathematics can be more meaningful for the students, not only just mathematics on the paper. All right. Okay. And then the other is, foster critical and meta-cognitive thinking. Alright, so we can give this method to the students by giving them a question like, why does this method work? Like for example, is there another way to solve this? Or maybe, what happens if the number are changed, something like that. So that gives them chance to do something. Alright. So this is think like a mathematician. the fun fact that I found in the checkpoint book from checkpoint 7 until 9 is there's no formula on it. Yes, there's no formula on it. So it means that the students will not memorize all the formula. Okay? Even when they are learning about the transformation, about like for example reflection, one point and then deflected by the y-axis, and then after that where is the position of the shadow, for example, like that, or the position of the image. When I look at the S.Pd things, the book for the S.Pd like hitting by the formula, and it is like, oh my god, that's why all the students really hate, because it feels like, Miss, there are many things that happen in my life. There's so many things in my life. There's so many things with this kind of things, right? So that's why anak-anak pasti akan merasa bahwa itu adalah sesuatu yang berat. So that's why the Cambridge curriculum, when we teach them about the transformation, even we are starting from the simple thing, tracing paper. Kita beneran pakai tracing paper, reflection yang dimana mereka benar-benar ditempelin, and then after that they find, oh ternyata ini cuma kayak gini, and then after that for the rotation, for example, they use the tracing paper and then they rotate it 90 degrees, 180 degrees. We start from that things. It was happening in stage 7, and after that in the stage 8, now we try to make the tracing paper disappear, and then after that we ask them, is there any way without the tracing paper you can find where is the position of the image after you rotate the shape with the center of 0.0, for example. And after that they're trying to explore. So when they are having those kind of experience, they don't need to memorize all of those things like that. And even now, when I'm teaching the students like that in S.Pd, it takes me a lot of time to solve those questions because I forget all the formula. Okay, so maybe you can look at this one. Think like a mathematician in here. Okay, this is just the problem of 4.56 multiplied by 10 to the power of 5. Okay, the things that we can see, usually which way that we usually give to the students, or maybe which one that students usually do. The next is designed by overthinking. What's the problem? I believe that Miss Maria already trained you with these things, right? Of course. So, yeah, and then after that, yeah, this one, actively use formative assessment, which is the assessment for learning here. So, the things that I really touched by my trainer when we are talking about the IFL is, what do you think when you heard the word about assessment? Menurut teman-teman apa? When you heard the word about assessment, what is in your exam? Alright, what else? Summative, formative. What is come up into your mind when you talk about assessment? Exam, question, test, quiz, something like that, right? Okay, so yes, actually they are correct. That is part of the assessment. But there's something that is really touching my heart when my trainer talk about the assessment. So the assessment, especially the assessment for learning, it is like when you have flowers, okay? And then when you have those flowers, what you are going to do to make your flower keep growing beautifully, what you are going to do? Disiram, that's correct. You watering, and then what else? Dipupuk, that's correct. You give them nutrition, right? And then what else? You have to control the light of the sun, isn't it? Right. So that is what the teachers do to the students about the assessment. Okay, it's really beautiful. I don't know. I feel like the assessment that what I have been taught before I did this with this trainer is really different. Like assessment is something that is really something that is really heavy, something that is really big, and it's need a really big deal to talk about assessment. But when we talk about students and then we give a students assessment just like what we are doing to make the flower blooms beautifully, so it will change your mind about assessment. Okay? Next. Okay. And then this is about the thing is about the promote collaboration and mathematical discourse. What does it mean? Because yeah, in Cambridge, that is really important when you have a really good communication to each other. How good you are when you are, showing your idea to others, and then after that, explaining what you want, explaining what you wanted to do. Sometimes it is not easy for us to do it, right? Maybe it is because of the habits, sometimes maybe it is because of the cultures, maybe it comes from our family or something like that. But in Cambridge, as the teacher, we have to build the students have those kind of things. What we can do, for example, team pair share. Anyone know what's team pair share? You know, right? So there's one question from the teacher, for example, and then after that, you are sitting in pair, and then after that, you think it by yourself at the first time, and then after that, sometimes your teacher will give you time to discuss together, and then after that, if you already decide with the answer, and then you will share it to others. Okay, that is the team pair share. The next is gallery walk. Okay, sometimes in the gallery walk, you just post solution and give your comment. Okay, I believe that most of you have done it, right? Okay, and then after that, math debate, defend different problem solving approaches. Yeah, yes, sometimes it's also happen in class. Alright, next. Now, the other thing that I want to show you is about the types of questions. The type of questions that leads the students will help the students think critically. Okay? Like for example here. Okay. What is it about? Statistics, yes. Okay. So based on the score of the median, right? Okay. And then after that, which class that was more consistent? Yeah, that's correct. So we look at from the okay. Now, in the Cambridge curriculum, such a young age, young SMP, they are already familiar with this concept. So when they read the data, it is not about looking the median, looking the mean, looking the range, but they should know how to make the interpretation of it. Okay, like which data or which class has better score, and then which class has more consistent. So they know that, oh, okay, the range is something that was help us to see how consistent of the data is. Okay, next. Okay, the other things. Okay, can you feel the difference of the question? Have you ever found this kind of questions in English or your S.Pd question? UN question? No. But can you feel the difference of the critical thinking that happens in your mind when you have to answer this question? Right? So it's like automatically you are comparing the mean, and then after that automatically you are going to comparing the range, right? Okay. So what's that? The deadlines, yes. Okay. The mean is 143, and then it is the consistent, yeah, consistent, just like the bright lights, but the mean is higher. Okay. This is question for grade 9. Alright, next. Okay, this is another question. There's a story behind this, where mathematics teachers always, in our school, we have a department of subjects, like for example, mathematics department and also science department. And usually, the science department always blame on us, the mathematics department, when the students cannot read the graph. Okay? Yes, the science department is always blame on the mathematics before the Cambridge, before we choose the Cambridge. It is like, why students doesn't know what is the x axis and then what is the y axis for, and then how to read the data from the graph, why it's really why it's really difficult for them. And then after that, we get the answer from the Cambridge. And this is mathematics questions, okay? Yeah, but you can find this question in the science too. But in science, there's a context. Alright? In physics or maybe in biology, yeah, when they have to find the rate of growth of the kacamba, what is kacamba, or bean sprout, something like that. And they have to draw the graph in science, right? And when you use the Cambridge, now science department never really understand. Because these things always teach based on the stage, like that. So stage 7, stage 8, stage 9, and then this topic is always earlier than the science one, like that. So yeah, can you imagine if the science do it earlier? Talking about this, and then they will blame it again on us. The mathematics teacher never teach the students how to read the graph. That is what happened. Alright. So yeah, this is the question for me. And so actually when we are talking about, like for example, for the question B, for example, find the rate of growth of the tree. Biasanya apa yang ditanya? Instead of asking about gradient, okay, we can ask them about the rate of the growth, like that. And then after that, the hint after answers is y meters, and then after that they can find the equation, and then after that from this one, and then after that the next question help them realize that, oh, the equation helped me make a prediction, right? That in the 9 years it will grow in how many meters, something like that. So as a teacher, when we make a question, we also give them like, they have to realize that those kind of things is happening in their life. So equation is not just about equation. It is not about x and y, but there is a meaning on it. Like that. Okay. It's already 11:13. Yeah. But yeah, there are still many things that I want to share to you guys. The other is about the active learning. Okay, of course, yeah, when we have those kind of things, there must be the active learnings. Usually we have a grouping things and so on. Alright. So yeah, whole class activities. Now assigning group roles in here, this is also really important. Because when you assign roles in the group, you will know what you are going to do. Okay? Alright, this is the setting rules for a group. Alright. Yeah, to flow your presentation. Now, okay, so this is another things that happen in the reality. Okay? I want you to rate this maybe in 3 minutes. Okay? Is it clear enough for you? Okay. Okay. Anyone want to say something about it? Okay, what happened? Okay, want to be please? Anyone? I just hear somebody, it's just, come on, what do you want to say? Okay, what happened with the Carlos? Yes, please. Uh-huh. All right, that's correct. But Carlos Carlos is struggled when he has to explain his answer, right? But actually, Carlos is really social, right? Can talk English fluently, right? So what happened with Carlos actually? Okay, so is this kind of things happen in school? Yes, a lot. A lot of my students like this. Like they are very fluent in English, but when they are talking about the academic things, academic language, they have a problem with it. Okay, so like for example, the terms of the terms of the subject that they usually use, maybe they don't familiar with it. Okay, so that is the teacher's job. Okay, to help them to know about it. Okay, so now 2, 3. Okay, so maybe one person can move here. Is that okay? All right. Okay, I have some puzzles. So this came to me for this group. Okay, so I have some puzzles there with many types of sentences. Okay, all right. So I want you to group it. Okay, it is up to you how many groups that you are going to. Just guess and use your skills, your critical thinking skills to group them. Okay, and can we do it in 3 minutes? All right, in 3 minutes. Okay, 3 minutes.
Ini 3. Kalian dari apa? Sendiri nggak sih jawabannya?
You can read.
Ini pernyataan pertanyaan. Matematika sampai berarti kan sama. Tidak sih, berarti tapi kenapa saya pertanyaan sudah ya sejauh ini masih tidak beritahu apa aja.
Okay, let's go back to your original web. Alright. Okay, so now I give you 1 minute. Okay. I'll give you 1 minute to have discussion. Okay. With your group, how many categories that you are going to have, and then your reason. Okay. You get it? Okay. 1 minute. Okay, time's up. Alright, so now let's choose one of your speaker, okay, to share the result. Okay? It's okay. Alright, yeah, who wants to be a volunteer for the first time? Which girl is it? Alright, please. What's your name, miss? Penny. Okay, yes, Penny. How many categories that you have, and then what are the reasons?
Okay.
Guys, please pay attention to your friends who are speaking. Okay.
Okay, my group have 5 categories. First is about fact. Okay, fact or definition, because there is, for example, the sentence "the moon is smaller than Earth and has no atmosphere and little no water" is a fact. And the second is about instruction, because the sentence wants the reader to count.
Okay.
And statement, the statement is, this is a new student, is a statement.
Okay.
And question, because it have a question mark.
Alright.
And the last is about appreciation, like, that's very nice, you look great.
Okay. Give applause to this group, everyone. Thank you so much, Miss Penny. I really appreciate it. You look so confident when you explain it to us. Very good. Anyone who wants to give inputs to them? No? Alright, okay. So now Who will be the next? Whose group is it? Okay, this group then. Okay, who will be the speaker? Stand up, please.
Our group has 5 categories.
Okay.
First one is definition. The moon is, and then the book is study for art, and the book is it's the fact. And then the second is the question words. Question sentence like how are you, who's absent today, where is the silent and the other. And the third is information. Like this is a new student, what is this, and the love of the people in the States. And the first is imperative sentence, like think the topic please, follow the stuff, see the text, and the last is appreciate your sentence.
Alright. Okay. So, very good. Do you have anything to say to this group? No? Alright, so give applause to what's your name? Okay, to hear your voice. Okay, so now the last group. We have 5 categories and also 5 categories in here. And then how about this group? How many categories? It's okay. If you just, if you think that we only have 3 categories, it's okay. We have more than 5. That's okay. Okay, who is the speaker? Who is the speaker? Who is the speaker? What's your name?
Yes.
Tias. Okay, Miss Tias, please.
Okay, we have 5 categories. The first is about fact or information. Terus the next is instruction.
Instruction.
Terus
Okay.
this is about the question. This is compliments, and the last. Oh, ini masih information ya. Kalau gitu sama aja dong. Jadi
That's okay.
this is about the fact, information fact, and this is information. Tapi apa yang dijelasinnya gimana?
Alright, that's okay. So it means that how many categories? 5, right? So it means that all of you has like 5 categories and it is almost the same, right?
Yeah.
Okay? Alright, that's okay. So please give applause to everyone today. Alright, so actually you did a really good job when you do the categorizing and then you have the reason why it is like this, why it is question sentence, why it is imperative sentence, something like that. But yeah, actually, if you pay attention, I just categorize it into 3. Yeah, but it's just because the language of class is routine, and then the idea is these things. What we call it as the peaks and cups. The peaks, it is the basic interpersonal communication skills, and then the cups is the academic one. The academic one actually the one that you categorize as the fact, as the information, something like that, right? And the idea is it is really hard for students to mastering the cups. That's why it is happening in the Carlos. Carlos is really good at social skills, very fluent in English, okay? But Carlos has a problem when they are into the academic things, academic terms, okay? Because actually the fact is, based on the research, a person can master the cups. It is like almost 7 years when they are doing that field. 7 years. So can you imagine, right? So that's why, this is the things that the teacher should know about the language awareness. That not all the students, especially in Indonesia, if they are in the international school, they whether that's also okay for you. So I'm going to have a life to live. Of course not. I don't have this choice and or those things. Right? Alright, so we are coming to the end of the session, which is it's going to be like me have to do a micro teaching. But yeah, this is just what we are going to do when you are in the Cambridge school. It is something that is really common. So this is not something that is most of the teacher avoid, because we have a department. And in our department, usually we have a really nice discussion about the students, about the subject that we are teaching, about how to solve the problem, and even this kind of things. The micro teaching about if we think that what I have taught to the students is something interesting, so I will share it to the teachers. Something like that. Okay, so today. Okay, we are going to learn about the volume and surface area of a sphere. Okay, but I know that you know how to find the area and volume of sphere, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. But the problem is, we are going to see with a teacher's perspective, okay, how to introduce the concept of the surface area of sphere to the students. Okay? Alright. So, as usual here, what we are going to learn today is some things that must be measurable. Okay? So, I can calculate the surface area of sphere, I can calculate the volume of sphere, I can analyze problem related to the surface area and volume of sphere. So, it means that the students should know how to differentiate between surface area and also volume. Okay? And then I can make conclusion or provide the recommendation in solving such problem related to the volume and surface area of the system. Okay. But actually, in the real, usually I will not read this all to the students, but just the idea. Okay? But it should be there. Okay? So that the students will know about it. The students will know what is the expectation of the teacher. Like for example, the skills in here, I want you to represent the material with confidence. So my students will know that, okay, there will be presentation of this, like that. And then the behavior in here, I will behave and show my confidence and independence. So can you see what is the aspect that I will measure to the student is about confidence and independence. Okay, so students, now head of students, yeah. Which of the following is called a sphere? Which one is it? Okay, the earth, yeah. The earth there is the sphere. Okay, very nice. Is there any other sphere? Can you find it? Balloon, where's the balloon? That's there. Okay. Yeah, but that's okay. That balloon is, that's also one of 1/3 we are square times the 8. Okay, but yeah, actually this is just to remind you again about the formula, because actually you have learned about it in the previous meeting. Yeah. So here I want to show you about the sphere around us. Actually, the sphere is everywhere. Okay, there are many things that is related to the sphere. So can you guess what are the characteristics of the sphere? Yes? There's no edge. That's good. Okay. So is it 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional? 3-dimensional. That's correct. So it is a 3-dimensional shape where every point of its surface is equidistant. What is equidistance? Yes, it has the same distance from the center of the sphere. Yeah. So actually, yeah, I just ask the students to read about these things. Okay. So yeah, because you know about the characteristic of the sphere, but you should know one part of the sphere, which is the radius. Okay, the radius here, it is the center, and then it is yeah, the radius, yeah, the length of the radius of the sphere. Okay, so now what we're going to do today, okay, so not about the when life give you tangerine, okay, but when maths give you tangerine. Okay, so I have a worksheet in here. Okay, I still want you to do it in a group. So now, please, with the same group, choose one of your vector. Okay? Okay, remember, assigning role is really important. Okay?
Dia belum tapi kayak dia nggak percaya.
that the orange that and you already feel it. So how do you do the
Ya berarti bukan kamu yang repot.
Kegedean aja. Yaudah sini ke sini.
masih banyak tuh.
Jadi selai.
Satu. Ya, mungkin ngapain? It's a choose in here. Jadi gimana di Korea? S.Pd. Okay. Would you have to estimate? Tapi
Kegedean gak sih?
Which one that you have to estimate? The grade? Step 1. You did it, right? And step 2, you already did it. Step 3, already. Okay, now 4, estimate how many discrete circles. So this is your grade circle. So how many grade circles that can be covered by the Pendidikan arrangement?
Aku relakan dulu sini.
So is your estimation correct? So you make
Ada yang bawa ini.
So where's another circle then? So what do you mean? Okay, nice. How is it? How's your estimation? Is that correct? Nearly. Nice.
Ini kan lembaga spesial.
Berarti kecil-kecilin lagi. That is the concept of the area, right? So you can scan and you answer all the questions. So ini pas tambahin lagi.
Jangan dipakai ya. Jangan dipakai.
Di atas coy. Terus dengarnya gitu ada sih. Kan udah kecil. Udah dibawa deh. Udah
Buat ngambil
udah naik nih.
Ya mungkin ini buat melengkapi ya, mungkin 4 lah semoga kan. Buat sampingnya buat kurang-kurangnya buat dari 5.
Ya.
Kamu tadi gimana, Agnes? Kenapa nggak update gitu aja? Karena kita tinggal di sini.
So in the calculation, can you guess what kind of cars is inside the bus? That's possible. Okay, can you? Okay, what's the answer for this one? 4. But instead of teacher saying to the students, guys, the formula of the sphere will be 4 times the area of the circle, but we do this, isn't it? Okay. So this is how the cameras work a little bit when we do yes, discovery. We're using the discovery and we have the worksheet, and then after that the teachers come and go to check how the students progress of the students. Even though there is a problem, like for example you have and after that did I give you the answer how to solve the question? No, but you found it.
Kamu gitu ya?
Padahal polisinya per 1 cm.
So as the teacher in the practice, don't ever give the answer during the group. But the teacher
Sabar, Rosa. Langsung apa aja lagi?
so that the student will be given.
Udah nggak sih?
Okay, so okay, so why it was happening? Huh? Okay, this is there are some buildings right? So okay, your estimation is 4. So actually this is really good because your estimation is nearly correct. Okay, but my question is why you still have the leftover in the oh, nice. Yes, maybe because you didn't correct. And then we can see this. You can see there are 2 parts here, right? Then actually it should be okay, now let's in half of picture. Okay. But now that the student is gonna ask, did you find different grasp the message from this activity, even though it is just like a half of it. Because usually after this, can you guess what you are going to do after this activity? Can you guess? Okay, after you find the formula, okay, what is the formula then? 4 times?
4 times circle.
Okay, 4 times area of the circle, right? So after that, some of you maybe will share your answer and to all of the students, and then after that is part of the sharing the result after you do the what did you do? Experiment. Yeah, because you have the estimation. But yeah, I hope that the message that I want to deliver to you as a teacher when we are having a group discussion is, do not give the students answer directly when your students have a problem. Even when your students have a problem in trying to understanding the worksheet or even to the answer of the problem. Okay, just help them with some clues, or maybe just ask them with ask the students to read again the instructions, something like that. Okay, until the students itself find the answer. Okay, so yeah, hopefully that this kind of activity can give you a big picture about how mathematics will be taught in the Cambridge curriculum, and hopefully it's going to be a good experience for you. And for myself, in Kesatuan Bangsa, we are very waiting for the teachers who have the Cambridge curriculum mindset like this. And usually in Kesatuan Bangsa, we have a program that we call it as AFT. AFT is the Academy for Young Teacher, and this is the academy where you are as a student in the end year, or maybe you just a fresh graduate. You can work with us and then learn more about the Cambridge curriculum, and then being a teacher there, and then after that try to teach our students too. And yeah, it's like about 3 to 6 months. Okay, so yeah, if you have any any interest about being a Cambridge teacher, about being international teacher, yeah, hopefully if those IFT open, you can enroll. Because of course I will tell Miss Maria, because yeah, usually our teachers is especially in Kesatuan Bangsa, we have 7 teachers only for our school, and then usually our teachers will be moved from one school to another school, from inside of Indonesia, even in abroad. So every year we need more teachers, more new teachers. So it means that I really hope that I can meet one of you here. Alright. Okay. So yeah.